What happens when the journeys of customers, technology, and business intersect? Product happens. Welcome to Product Management Show, where we talk about the journeys of customers, the journeys of technology, and the journeys of business, and what happens when they all intersect at the crossroads we call product.
What would you say you do here? You take the specifications from the customers and you bring them down to the software engineers. Yes, that's right.
I'm working, so why don't you go do whatever it is a product manager does?
When you think about focusing, right? You think, well, focusing is saying yes, no. Focusing is about saying no. Focusing is about saying no. And you've got to say no, no, no. And when you say no, you piss off people.
You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem. Then you solve the next one. And then the next. And if you solve enough problems, you get to come home.
Welcome, listeners, to episode 40 of the Product Management Show. Whether you work in product management or with product management, or maybe you're just curious or confused about product management, then you're in the right place. Welcome. Here in Canada, we have a humorous radio show on the CBC network called The Debaters. This show features stand-up comedians doing mock debates on bizarre topics such as cake versus pie. The goal is to enjoy some laughs. This episode follows that exact same recipe for the topic of Agile versus Waterfall. Our guests Saeed Khan and Lee Bonnell trade humorous jabs will be questioned and judged by our referee, Neeha Tummala. Listeners note, this is a short episode with about 20 minutes of content and will pair well with a long dog walk, a short commute, a leisurely soak in a bath, or a good warm-up on the stairmaster. PDM principle number 41 is borrowed from the great Yogi Berra. In theory, there is no difference between theory and practice, but in practice there is. Enjoy the show. All right, audience, are you ready to meet two debaters who not only hail from the opposite ends of Toronto, but also opine from opposite ends of tonight's controversial and age-old topic, which is better, Agile or Waterfall?
Woohoo!
Meet our first debater, Lee Bonnell, or as I like to call him, Lee Bonhomme. Lee has been in technology his entire career, with the last 10 years in product management, launching numerous enterprise and consumer software products. Lee's favorite pastime is waiting for Waterfall to dry up. Welcome, Lee.
Yes, thank you, Alan. Good to be here. Yes.
And confidently strolling up to the opposing podium is a favorite of Product Camp and product conference circuits, a maverick of product metrics, Saeed Khan. Saeed Khan, everyone.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks. Glad to be back.
And finally, a warm welcome to our human laugh track, our inquisitor extraordinaire and judge for this debate, Neeha Tummala. Neeha Tummala, everyone. Woohoo! Yay! Lee and Saeed, your topic is a classic one, as old as the dust on Saeed's University of Waterloo degree. This topic will be of interest to enterprise software product managers whose dev shop is stuck in the Stone Ages, or shiny new product people who want to better understand what their grandpa is talking about when he reminisces about the good old Waterfall days. Your topic: be it resolved that Waterfall is superior to Agile for the successful development of on-time, on-budget, and useful software. Saeed, you will be arguing for this position, and Lee, you will be arguing against. Whereas a waterfall project flows linearly and orderly between phases like a Donald Trump team constructing US-Mexico border wall, one row, one brick at a time, the Agile approach is more like a family of Canadian beavers building a dam, iteratively starting with a base of mud and stones, and then adding some maple tree branches, moose pies, and whatever other materials until construction is complete. Our topic: be it resolved that Waterfall is superior to Agile for successfully developing on time, on budget, and useful software. Saeed, you're going to be arguing for this position, and you have 2 minutes, starting now.
Thank you very much, Alan. Let's look at the term waterfall. Okay, 2 words: water and fall. Water, it quenches your thirst. You can't live without it for more than a few days. It's the essence of life. Fall, also known as autumn or harvest. When we gather the fruits and vegetables of our labor, these will help us survive the harsh winter to come. Thus, water and fall represent the essentials, food and drink, that help us survive and thrive in this world. Now, let's look at Agile. It's defined by the Agile Manifesto. And you know what you get when you rearrange the letters in the words Agile Manifesto? Do you? You literally get the words egomania itself. Yes, it's true. Look it up on the internet. Egomania itself. Now, I could probably just rest my case right here, but there's more, and it gets worse. In 2001, 17 nerds got together for a meeting at a Utah ski lodge. They had names like Mike, Kent, Ward, Jim, Ron, Ken, Dave, Jeff, and Alistair. Yes, this unbelievably diverse group of men, no women were included, with skin as pale as the mountain snow outside the lodge they were staying at, decided they were going to solve a huge problem that they saw in software development: egomania itself. And so, following such luminaries as Karl Marx and the Unabomber, they created a manifesto. The manifesto, created by these pasty, lazy geeks, had 4 principles and a grand total of 24 words. The Agilists claim they're onto something new. This is a new way of doing things. I'm paraphrasing, but the 4 principles sound something like this: focus on people, create working software, work with customers, respond to change. Whoa, that's amazing stuff. Seriously, think about that. Nobody ever thought about those things before. Nobody, that is, except everybody except software developers. Focus on people, duh, as opposed to what? Who else is going to do the work? We didn't have AI back then to write all the code for you. And by the way, a little tangent here, software developers, start looking for new jobs, because AI is going to generate so much beautiful code so fast in a few years, it'll make your disk drive spin out of control. You'll be lining up with former Uber drivers and retail salespeople at the retraining office. Let's look at the second one, create working software. Wow, that's literally your job. But they had to put it into the manifesto just to remind themselves what they were supposed to do. The other 2 principles are equally inane, but I'll stop here. In short, Agile, stating the obvious and claiming it's something new. Waterfall, helping humanity survive. You choose.
Saeed Khan, everyone. Way to go, Saeed.
Wow.
Now,
Take that, Lee.
now, to tell us why Waterfall is as foolish as going over Niagara Falls in a barrel, it's Lee Bonnell. Lee, you have 2 minutes, starting now.
Yes. Thank you very much, Alan. And thank you, Saeed, for somebody thinking. It literally brings a waterfall to my eyes. So Waterfall, it evolved in large monolithic companies with large projects. Back then, big was all there was. Back in the day, big ERP software projects were notorious for being expensive and just downright failing. The emergence of software for the masses, the ability to drive value and innovation, combined with startup culture, has changed all this, because now there's choice and opportunity to do things differently and better. Now, however, I think there's some confusion in Saeed's mind about what is an Agile project versus what is a Waterfall project. So to help out Saeed in understanding this, here's some indicators for you that you are truly on an Agile project. Indicator 1, you see or talk to all your team members every day and actually work and focus on the problems that you're working through. Indicator 2, you are implementing working software. In the last 30 days, you've actually delivered this to your customers. Indicator number 3, you have a dashboard that measures your progress on a regular basis and posts a summary every couple of weeks. In fact, your team even has a happiness metric. Sounds beautiful, right? Okay, let's look at the inverse. So here's some indicators that you're working on a Waterfall project. Indicator 1, you have a very well-researched and beautifully written market requirements document that took you 6 months to write, and then took 6 months to get approved. And after that, no one has ever read it. Indicator number 2, your project sponsor has changed 6 times, and most of the original team has retired or even died of old age. Indicator number 3, the only time that you stand up for a meeting is to get the hell out of it. Okay, but some people love big, almost for bigness sake. Soul-crushing corporations are big. So Saeed likes big. He lives large. He loves big ideas. He loves expansive, all-you-can-eat buffets. But Agile celebrates the small. The world is being changed by startups. Startups are small. The world is being changed by startups. Small is the new big, Agile is the new big, and Agile is changing the world. Thank you.
All right. Lee Bonnell. Lee Bonnell, everyone.
Wow.
Nicely done, Lee.
Very good.
Debaters, it's now time to see whose argument really holds water and who has the verbal agility to successfully deliver in the bare knuckle round. We're asking which is superior for delivering on time, on budget, useful software, Waterfall or Agile? Is it best to just keep throwing another brick on the wall or to iterate with a stick here and a slab of mud there until it feels right? Lee, you get to throw the first figurative punch and go.
Absolutely. Okay, so Saeed is obviously drowning in rhetoric and needs to dry himself off. And I know Saeed loves anagrams, so let's look at the two words water and fall. Almost water and fail, but let's just say water and fall. Here's some anagrams for you, Saeed. Far wallet, or should be fat wallet. Flaw alert, flaw later, wart fella. This is a universe telling you that waterfall is the wrong choice. It will only end in misery. He talks about the Agile Manifesto that happened way back in 2001. You know what's going on since then? LinkedIn was launched in 2002, YouTube in 2005, Facebook opened to the public in 2006, and the list goes on. Agile has changed the world. Because if we use waterfall, we will never, ever, ever create an awesome code, could never develop AI that would elevate the human race. Clarity where AI can outgrow humanity. I say we hit them hard with waterfall as our last line of defense. Thank you.
I think it's pretty clear that Lee is grasping at straws here. All he has is things like LinkedIn and I don't know what other websites he mentioned. I mean, who cares about those things? Those don't change the world. They don't feed the poor. They don't stop diseases. We're talking about real world things, not some website that you post your job on and hope somebody sees it. Lee can live in his little world. He likes small. It's very tiny. It's a nice little bubble, and he can stay there. And I'll live in the world of big ideas and big thinking.
And big buffets.
And big buffets, absolutely. What's a buffet if it's not big? That's all.
All right. All right. We're debating waterfall versus agile. And now it's time for the firing line. And for this round,
let's do this.
Our key inquisitor, Neeha, has a list of questions related to waterfall versus agile. Debaters, please wait until Neeha is finished reading the question and then buzz in if you have an answer. Neeha, take it away, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. The Standish Group has published an annual chaos report on the state of software development since 1994. According to the 2014 report, what were the top 3 factors influencing project success or failure?
Well, come on, I beat him there.
Not even close, Mr. Agile.
All right, I think, I want to say that was Lee. Was it Lee?
That's right, I did first. Okay.
All right.
Top 2 factors, I got 1. Size. Small is the new big.
I think you're wrong, Lee. I think the top factor for projects failing was lack of ability to see beyond next week, which is exactly what Agile is all about.
All right. I think I'm going to give this one to Saeed.
All right.
I'm convinced. That makes sense. Next one.
Oh, what was the actual answer? Give us the answer, Neeha, please.
Okay, the actual answer is user involvement, 16%, executive support, 14%, and clear requirements, 13%, of which none of you got, but that's okay.
Woo!
It's a tough one, but let's try another one. Please complete this sentence. You know you are on a waterfall project if... Lee.
You heard that, right?
Yes.
That was Saeed, I think.
That's Saeed.
Saeed.
I just wanted to make sure you heard that.
Totally heard
You know
that.
you're on a waterfall project if it's something amazing and big you're working on. And it's not some piddly little website feature that will take you 2 days and, 5 lines of code.
Oh, please, let me get in there.
All right, Lee.
You know you're on a waterfall project if you start sucking your thumb and you cry yourself to sleep every night.
Aw. All right. I think for this
From experience,
one,
Lee? From experience? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
I think I'm gonna give Lee 4 out of 5 for this one.
Nice.
Quite convincing. And Lee, not as convinced, maybe a 3 out of 5, but good response. I like that too. But the answer, popular on the internet, is you know you're on a waterfall project if your project sponsor dies before the end of the project.
Absolutely true.
Well, I'm glad you agree.
The internet
All right.
always tells you the truth. I love that. Okay.
Yep.
That's right. Good source. Yes.
Yep. The internet never lies. And the last question. Multiple choice. Please choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. The question is, the purpose of the daily stand-up in Agile is to A, cover your ass for mistakes made the previous day. B, gang up on the weakest member of the team, of course. Or C, give the Scrum Master some BS to keep management at arm's length. D, other. Saeed.
All
What's
right.
that, Saeed?
So all of those are wonderful answers. I think the real sort of, purpose of daily stand-up is to give the developers the only exercise they'll have that day, because they'll be hunched over their keyboards for the other 29 hours.
Nice.
Nice. All right, Lee.
Yes, the real answer is other, but to be clarified, it is to tell the team what I did today, what I did yesterday, what I'm doing today, and to put in my order for our free catered lunch.
Yeah. Like they care what you did yesterday, right? They don't care.
I just want my free lunch, man.
What do you
All
do for me
right.
today? That's the only problem. That's the only question worth answering.
All right. Thank you, Neeha. That was excellent. So I just want to comment that I think it's appropriate that we're talking about Waterfall, and our Waterfall representative has what sounds like the horn from a 1957 Chev as his buzzer. So
Absolutely.
well chosen there, Saeed.
I'm nothing if not consistent.
So that's the firing line, everyone. And have you picked a winner yet? Well, wait, don't decide yet, because now it's time for closing arguments. Lee and Saeed, now it's time to pull out your most elaborative elocutions, to channel your inner Johnny Cochran and come up with your own versions of the "if the glove don't fit, you must acquit" soundbite. Saeed, you go first, arguing that the safest conveyance from requirements to satisfied users is to take the waterfall. You have 1 minute, starting now.
All right. So Lee talks so proudly about Agile. He's got a big smile on his face. Everything is great in Agile. But let's look at the world today. Everything important in the world today was created before Agile ever existed. The pyramids of Egypt, majestic structures built millennia ago that are still standing today, done without Agile. The Apollo moon missions, starting with Neil Armstrong's historic first steps, ditto, no Agile. The Hoover Dam, that amazing feat of engineering that generates enough light to power up cities without any carbon emissions, literally waterfall, okay? And think of virtually everything else, from the phone to the car to the internet to antibiotics, vaccines, flushable toilets, and yes, even sliced bread, all done without Agile. And what do we have in the age of Agile? Well, I'll name a couple. We've got Twitter, that amazing application that allows any thin-skinned racist misogynist to spew nonsense at 3 a.m. in the morning. And soon we'll have artificial intelligence that will steal all our jobs and enslave us all. So tell me, people, what do you want? Waterfall, the essence of life that'll take us to the moon and beyond in an environmentally friendly way? Or Agile, that gives us an idiocracy and our eventual doom? The choice is obvious.
All right, Saeed Khan, everyone. The only guy who proudly sports a Waterfall is Beautiful bumper sticker on his 57 Chev with that great horn sound. Ow! Now to argue that only wooden barrels of misguided monkeys are attracted to waterfalls. Lee, you have 1 minute to close your argument that Agile is superior, starting now.
Yes, Saeed, Waterfall is big. It's very big. But you know what else was big? The Titanic was big. The Hindenburg was big. Chernobyl and Fukushima were both really, really big. The big news is that soul-crushing large products have a 6 times less chance of success. They're just plain bad. Small is good. Small is dynamics. Agile is good. Do you know what the most amazing product in the history of the human race is? I'm talking about DNA. It's small and it's awesome. Muons, gluons, the fabric of the universe. It's small and beautiful. That's the new thing, small. Small projects that have a 300% better chance of being successful, they are good. Small is the new big, my friend. Agile is small. Agile is the new big. Take it to the bank, Saeed.
Woohoo! All right, Lee Bonnell, or as I like to call him, Lee Bonhomme. Excellent. Lee Bonnell, who is famous for saying, if your sprint doesn't feel like a drunken game of Twister after a Thanksgiving dinner with your user, sponsor, developer, and product owner, then you're obviously doing it wrong. Lee Bonnell, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan.
Neeha, it's time. As our designated judge and jury, please let us know who won by giving the greatest applause or the loudest woo-hoos. First off, was it Lee Bonnell?
Woohoo!
Or was it Saeed Khan?
Woo!
Very thankful. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so just to be clear, Neeha, so who was the winner? Was it Saeed?
Yeah, let's be clear.
Yes, it was.
Well done,
I
Saeed.
have to say, I was super impressed with the examples and the evidence that both of you presented. You know, Lee with Twitter, Facebook, all of the fun examples, and Saeed with Hoover and sliced bread. But I think, you know, the both of you, I'm still not over the ability of both of you to rearrange the words agile. And I think that just made it for me. So great job.
All right,
Excellent,
thanks.
excellent. So thank you to yourself as well, Neeha, and thank you to our debaters, Saeed and Lee. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You can find us on the web at www.productmanagementshow.com and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at The PDM Show. That's THEPDMSHOW.
Gee, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Thank you for listening to the Product Management Show. If you enjoy the show, please give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.